Has there been a more impactful player on both ends of the floor this postseason than Anthony Davis? 22 points and 5 blocks per game in this series. He and LeBron both scored 25 points in Game 3. The 12th time they've done that in the playoffs. That's an elite 1-2 punch. Of course, the punch from Game 3 was courtesy of Dillon Brooks, the NBA's current bad boy. Please don't be mad at me, Dillon. Love your sweater, bro. He had plenty of time to shop for it after being ejected on Saturday. Who's ready for Game 4? Lakers and Grizz coming up at 7 o'clock here on Spectrum Sports. That a win tonight would put the Grizz on the brink of elimination. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Chris McGee, Big Game James Worthy. We are live at Crypto.com Arena. Back in the studio, Allie, Fish, Brez. We'll hear from Trudell in a few moments. Big Game James, it's been a long time coming for the two of us. This is our first pregame show at Crypto.com Arena during the playoffs in our network history. So we're excited to be here. The powers that be that made this happen, thank you. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I cannot remember ever being here an hour before the game and hearing that roar that we just heard about 10 seconds ago. The fans are ignited. They haven't been in this building for a full game capacity, and we're back. Peaking at the right time. The fans are into it. The players seem to have conjured up some good team chemistry and some togetherness, and it's just great to feel it and be here to experience it.
And by the way, props to you. I hope the bosses do know you were suited and booted. You were here 2 hours before the game, and you were ready, Big Game James.
Yeah, 2 hours is a record as opposed to the 2 minutes before airtime that I usually make it. But I'm improving.
You love playoff time. You love playoff time.
Playoffs is where it all happens, baby.
I know, man. I'm so happy to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lakers come into Game 4 with a 2-1 series lead over the Grizzlies, and history is on the Lakers' side, Big Game, because they are 50-6 all-time when leading a series 2-1. That is the third best winning percentage of all time. Lakers also just the 8th, 7th seed to take a 2-1 series lead in a best-of-7 series. James, if you can remember Saturday night, Allie was down here, and it was about 45 minutes before the tip, and she did her first pregame hit, and she told us that this place was electric. The players were ready, the fans were ready, and the result was the best first quarter in Laker playoff history. Big Game, it was 35-9 plus 26. It was simply awesome.
Yeah, from the beginning, Allie nailed it. I mean, she came in with an exciting preview of what was going to happen, and then the players and the Laker team, they just went out and got to work early. AD in particular came out and established himself on both ends of the court, blocking shots, knocking down shots, dominated inside, and then LeBron, who doesn't let anything distract him for what he needs to be doing, went out and got the job done. And then the bench with Rui, 25 points off the bench total. I just thought, the Lakers did a really good job of closing out. Now, Memphis did come back.
Yes.
One player in particular did all the damage. Yeah. So they're going to build on that. They usually don't have starts like they did. So this is a big game tonight. You just can't have one. You got to have both of them.
Let me ask you as a player, because I did mention the crowd and just how thirsty, how excited they were for that moment. What was it like playing in front of the LA crowd come playoff time? Not regular season, playoff time.
Yeah, playoff times was it was more intense, and the fans were more involved. Fans are really, really smart. They know what's happening. They know the seeds. They know the matchups, and they look forward to it. So the fans were always intense, particularly in the Great Western Forum, and we'd always play that song, "We Love L.A." and that was it. You know, and so when that got to going, the fans were rocking, and they're the sixth man.
They really are.
They're the sixth man or sixth woman, if you will.
Yeah.
And when you feel that vibe, it does give you a little bit momentum. When you're tired, it gives you a boost because you're playing for something as a team and for the city.
I think the key, and you and Rob actually talked a lot about this in the pregame show on Saturday night, was returning to Anthony Davis being the focal point. We all know what happened in Game 2. AD did not have his best game. It was officiated differently. He got frustrated, missed a couple of shots early. He responded in a big way, 31 points, 17 boards. I mean, Big Game James, James, he's averaging 5 blocks a game in this series, but he was the focal point. How important is that for this Laker team?
Well, I mean, it's his team now, and I don't mean that in the sense that LeBron is truly the leader of this team and very important. But for a young age, AD, his ability and his talent to take over games and dominate games on both ends, that's rare. He's been mentioned and some of the greatest centers that's ever played the game. Shaq, Kareem, Wilt, David Robinson, those type of guys, as far as what he achieves in points, rebounds, block shots, and steals. Not to mention all the one he alters and intimidates. So, yeah, if they go through him, he's also a pretty good passer and a really good free throw shooter when he's locked in. So the more that they can go through AD and make him, he got Jackson in foul trouble the last game. That was critical.
Yeah,
since they're without Adams. So a continuation of that will only yield them, I think, some success.
Per usual, he is doing work in the arena. He is known as Playoff Mike to his friends. To the fans, he's just Lakers reporter Mike Trudell. What's up, Mike? Let's go.
Well, it's always great to have you guys downtown. Gives everybody a boost. Geeter and Big Game. And look, so Darvin Ham, what is the focus here? How can they try to replicate some of the energy that the Lakers brought to start Game 3? Now, of course, the fans had a lot to say about that and figured that they will once again. But in terms of schematics and just what they're running on both ends of the court, what did Darvin Ham see? Here's what he told us.
Rules that we've been preaching all year. Again, in transition, sprinting back, covering the basket, stopping the ball, loading to the ball, finding most dangerous. And guys, again, the sense of urgency, the energy, and the effort. It's all about that. And in the half court as well. Like just really locking in and being better on the ball. I felt like in Game 2, we were a little soft on the ball. And you get a game, you have that tendency to exhale a little bit. And we want to make sure that we knew that, again, it's the first to 4, not the first to 1 win, 2 win, 3 win. So each and every time out, we have to reestablish ourselves and really reemphasize all of those principles that's gotten us to this point.
You mentioned the half court, and Memphis obviously a pretty good defense. So what are some of the keys when they go into their switching that they've gone to the last couple games that you guys need to do to execute?
Just to focus on getting the multiple actions. We have plays with 3, 4 options down the line, and we can't stop. The ball can't stop moving. Bodies can't stop moving. Once they take away the first or second option, we have to keep playing throughout the shot clock. And if I can back up, like the initial thrust downhill, when we get the ball, when we get a stop, defensive rebound, or even taking the ball out, make sure we're sprinting to our proper spacing, playing with pace. And so now, we're not on the second option with 7, 6, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. We can actually get to a third or fourth action if need be, as the shot clock is dwindling down.
Darvin, Ja's a special player. We all know that, and special players do special things like the fourth quarter of Game 3. But on what level does your defense have to take accountability for the groove that he got in, and what will you need to clamp down on what happened in the fourth quarter going into tonight's game?
Again, just trying to stay in front of them. That first initial defender, being locked in on the ball, forcing them to see multiple bodies, to keep them out of the paint. We fouled him way too much, 14 free throws for him. That allows him to see the ball go in, which in turn allows him to get into a rhythm from beyond the three-point line. So all of that, just our presence on him. And again, trying to force him to play more east-west than downhill north-south.
All right, guys, so there's Darvin Ham. And just one thing to think about as you're listening to Darvin's comments there, maybe not the worst thing for the Lakers that Memphis did start to play a little bit better against not a prevent defense from the Lakers, but certainly backed off some once they were up by that much. So instead of the film room just being, hey, Memphis players really have to completely change everything, might be feeling a little bit better about it. And conversely, the Lakers can look at some of that film and then refocus heading into quarter 1 tonight. So we'll see how it all plays out. But, Lakers have to feel pretty confident about the spot that they're in. Peter just got to take care of business.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. You know what else is great? Seeing the most famous Ori in the building. Christian Ori is here,
Christian
state champion.
Ori got all his talent from his mama.
From his mom, and his dad is carrying his bags tonight. It's an amazing thing. So glad to see Chris
Rob
here.
just get kicks out of high school games and stuff like
Rob,
that.
Rob, you know. Rob, what's up, Rob? Rob's trying to FaceTime us. That's what he does. He tries to mess up everybody when they're working. Rob, enjoy the night. James and I are working. Let's go to break. Lakers and Grizzlies coming up. Game number 4. John Morant should be plenty confident. 24 points in the fourth quarter of Game 3, including 22 straight points for the Grizz. The Lakers will look to cut off the water on them early in this one. And coming up on Access, LeBron.